Subscribe our channel and do press the bell icon to receive latest jobs notifications, GATE talks and video lectures on GATE and IES.
Hello guys, welcome to the third lecture of this lecture series on general studies for IES. So today we will be starting with the second chapter of ICT. Okay, so in this chapter we will be focusing on following 6 points. The first point is what do you mean by network? Second point is various network topologies. Third point is various network transmission modes. Fourth point is various transmission media. Fifth point is types of network. And sixth point is block diagram of a network. Guys, let's start our discussion with the definition of networks. Guys, networks can be defined as collection of interconnected nodes. Okay, so from this example, we can see that there are three nodes. That is node number 1, node number 2 and node number 3. Okay, so all these three nodes are connected through a single channel and they are exchanging the information. So we can say that the basic purpose of interconnection of nodes is exchange of information. For example, I am in my home and sharing some information with you which is accessible to you at your home. This is done due to a virtual interconnection between us. Thus, without any interconnection, either physical or virtual, it is not possible to have a conversation or exchange of information. Okay, so network is the collection of these interconnected nodes. Okay, so what does I means by physical and virtual interconnection? To elaborate it, let me tell you an example. For example, let us consider a network in which the nodes are connected to a single channel like this. Okay, this is a wired network. Okay, and this can also be called as physical interconnection. Guys, talking about the virtual interconnection, we can assume a Wi-Fi campus. Okay, so let us assume that this is a Wi-Fi campus and this is the main station or router. Okay, and these are the nodes which are getting signals from the router. Okay, let us assume that this circle represents the range or frequency of this router. Okay, and there is a node which is outside the frequency of this router. So the data transmission from, say, let's say this is node 1 and this is node 2. Okay, so the data transmission from node 1 to node 2 can happen like this, that node 1 will send data to this router and this router will send data to node 2. Okay, so this type of connection or this type of network is known as a Wi-Fi network. We can also say this type of network as a virtual interconnection. Guys, this type of network can also be said as wireless network. Guys, now let's discuss the block diagram of a network. So in a block diagram of a network, we have five components. Okay. So the first one is the sender, second one is receiver, third one is message, fourth is communication medium, and fifth is protocol. Okay. So let's say that this is the sender node. Okay. For example, I am the sender and you are the receiver. I am in my office and you are at your home. Okay, so between sender and receiver, we have used some physical channel. Okay, so this physical channel is YouTube. Okay, so this physical channel is known as the communication medium. Okay, so this physical channel is is the basis of interconnection between sender and receiver. Okay, so using this channel, sender and receiver are exchanging some message, and this exchanging of message is based on the protocol. Okay, so here, so guys, what is this protocol? This protocol is the set of rules that governs the data transmission between sender and receiver. We will later discuss about protocol in detail. Okay, so till now you have to understand that this is the block diagram of a network. Guys, now let's discuss the basic components of a network in detail. So the first component is sender. Okay, so the sender is also referred as a transmitter, and the second point is that sender or transmitter is a node which can transfer or send the data. Okay, and the second component of a network is receiver. So receiver, it is a node which receives and processes the data. The third component of a network is message. Message, as you all know, that it is the original information which the sender and receiver are willing to exchange. Okay, so in our case it is the lecture which I want to deliver to you. Okay, communication medium or transmission medium, it is the medium used for transmission of data. In our case it is YouTube. Protocol, it is a set of rules that governs the data transmission between sender and receiver. Guys, now let's discuss the different types of protocols. Okay, so protocols are basically of two types. Number first is connection oriented protocol, and the number second is connection less protocol. Okay, so let us discuss the connection oriented protocol. So before we start our discussion on what is connection oriented protocol, let me tell you what is connection orientation. Okay, so guys, connection orientation basically includes three phases. So these three phases are connection establishment, data transfer, and connection release. So these are the three basic phases of connection orientation. So what does this means? This means that in order to do data transfer, first the connection establishment must be taken place. Therefore, before doing data transfer, there should be a connection. After data transmission, we can release the connection. So guys, after understanding the basic meaning of connection orientation, we can say that the protocol which requires connection establishment prior to the data transfer is known as the connection oriented protocol. Okay, so for example, the examples of the connection oriented protocol can be TCP, FTP, SMTP, and HTTP. Okay, so TCP stands here for Transmission Control Protocol, FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Guys, moving on, let us discuss that what is a connection-less protocol. Okay, so connection-less protocol is the one which doesn't require connection to transfer the data. So, for example, IP, SNMP, TFTP, RIP, etc. Okay, so IP here stands for Internet Protocol, SNMP stands for Simple Network Management Protocol, TFTP stands here for Trivial File Transfer Protocol, and RIP here stands for Routing Information Protocol. Guys, moving on, let us discuss the effectiveness of a network. That is, when can we say that the network is effective? By effective, we means efficient. Okay, so we need always an efficient network. So to check effectiveness of a network, there are four parameters. Okay, so effectiveness of a network depends upon these four parameters. So what are these? These number first is accuracy, second is timeliness, third is delivery, and fourth is jitter. So let us discuss these four parameters in details. Guys, let's talk about accuracy. Okay, so let us assume that this is a sender node and this is the receiver node. Okay, sender and receiver are interconnected via a channel, and a message is transferred from the sender to receiver. Guys, here is sender handling message to receiver personally? No, na. What he is doing in the network, he is placing the message on the channel, and this message is traveling towards the receiver, and then the receiver is receiving it. Though, thus, when receiver has received the message, is it having any error or not? Okay, so we have to check that whether the message which is sent by sender to the receiver is having any error or not. Okay, if there is no error present in the message which is received by the receiver, then we can say that the message is a error free message. Okay, while on the other hand, if there is some error in the message received by the receiver, then we can say that it is an errored message. Hence, accuracy defines that how much data is error free. So we can say that accuracy here is defining errors in message after receiving. Therefore, after receiving the message, if there is no error, we can say it is 100% accurate. Okay, and if the accuracy is 100%, then the network is more effective. Whereas if there are some errors, then we can say that the network is less effective. Guys, moving on, the second term is timeliness. Now, what does this timeliness means? Guys, let us assume that in the given example, the size of this message is 10 MB, whereas the bandwidth provided by the network, that is the speed of data transfer from sender to receiver, is 10 Mbps. So according to this speed, the message should reach the receiver in 1 second. So now we have to check, has the message received the receiver in 1 second or not. So if the message has received the receiver within time, then we can say that the network is effective. On the other hand, if the message takes time more than 1 second, then we can say that the network is less efficient. So from here, we can conclude that timeliness defines whether message has reached to receiver on time or not. Guys, moving on to the third term, delivery. Okay, so delivery here defines whether the message has reached to intended destination or not. That is, I had to send the message from node 1 to node 4. Okay, so delivery here shows checks that whether the message has reached to node 1 to node 4 or not. Okay, so if the message has reached the correct IP address, then we can say that our network is effective. Moving on, guys, let us discuss about jitter. So jitter here defines the time variance of packet arrival time. So what does this mean? This means that jitter shows the variance in time for different packets of same size. Let's say that one packet of 10 MB size reaches from sender to receiver in 10 minutes, and the second packet of same size reaches the receiver in 100 minutes. So if this much is the variance in time, then the given network is less effective. Whereas if the variance is time is like this, that the first packet reaches the receiver in 10 minutes, whereas the second packet reaches the receiver in 11 minutes, then we can say that the given network is effective. So guys, depending on these four terminologies, we can decide whether a network is effective or not. Moving on, let us discuss the different types of networks. Guys, classification of networks is basically based on two parameters. Okay, so these two parameters are transmission technology and scale. So let us discuss that what is the transmission technology and what is scale. So first of all, what is transmission technology? Transmission technology is the technology which we are using to do message transmission in a network. Okay, so based on transmission technology, there are two types of networks. Number first is the broadcast network, or we can say broadcast link, and the number second is the point to point network or point to point link. Guys, before discussing about these broadcast network and the point to point network, let us discuss about different types of transmission technologies. So there are basically three types of transmission technologies. Number first is the unicast transmission, second is multicast transmission, and the third one is broadcast transmission. In unicast transmission, transmission takes place between one system to another. So for example, there is a class and I need to tell the definition of computer network to every student. So what can I do? There are four students in that class, A, B, C and D. Okay, so I will go to each student individually and tell him the definition of computer network. So this analogy defines the unicast transmission, that is the transmission takes place between one system to another. So here data transfer is taking place from one node to another four times individually. Okay, moving on, the second type of transmission is multicast transmission. Guys, in multicast transmission, transmission takes place between one system to a group of systems. So let us say in the previous example, student A and B are gents and students C and D are ladies. Okay, so I am going to gents separately and I am going to ladies separately. Okay, so I am going to group 1 of gents separately and I am going to group 2 which consists of ladies separately. So in this case, same sender is giving definition to different groups of systems. Now moving on, the third type of transmission technology is the broadcast transmission. Guys, in broadcast transmission, transmission takes place between one system to all systems of a network. So guys, in broadcast transmission, let us say this is me and I am telling the definition of networks to all 4 students simultaneously at a single time. Okay, so this is broadcast network. It can also be drawn like this. Okay, so all sender and receivers in a broadcast transmission are connected to same channel. So this is the common channel. If all sender and receiver are not connected to same channel in case of broadcast transmission, then there cannot be any broadcast transmission. So for broadcast transmission to happen, all the sender and receiver must be connected to same channel. So guys, from here we can see that in unicast transmission, the sender had to send the message 4 times, okay, and in multicast transmission he had to send the same message 2 times, whereas in the broadcast transmission he had to send the same message only single time. So from here we can conclude that broadcast transmission is the most efficient transmission. Guys, moving on, now let us discuss the different types of networks based on transmission technology. So as we have discussed earlier, based on transmission technology, there are 2 types of network. The first one is broadcast network or broadcast link, and the second one is point-to-point network or point-to-point link. Guys, the pictorial representation of broadcast network is like this. So from here we can clearly see that in a broadcast network, all systems are connected to a same channel. Okay, here we are having only one link to connect all the 4 systems, whereas in case of point-to-point network, to connect 4 systems we are using 3 point-to-point links. Guys, talking about broadcast network, it can be used by multiple stations at a time, whereas point-to-point network can be used by only 2 stations at a time. Guys, in case of broadcast network, no intermediate systems are involved. That is, if I have to transfer some data from node 1 to node 4, then the data will move directly to node 4. It will not get accepted by node 2 or node 3 because the IP address entered in the data will only match with node 4. Whereas in case of point-to-point network, intermediate systems are involved while data transfer from node 1 to node 4. So here the data will first be shared between node 1 and node 2 and then it will be shared between node 2 and node 3 and then it will reach node 4. Okay guys, talking about broadcast network, it can cover only shorter distances, whereas the point-to-point network can cover longer distance. Guys, example of broadcast network can be radio FM, whereas example of point-to-point network is telephone network. So alright guys, that's it for today's lecture. We will have a much deeper look about ICT networking in upcoming lectures.
Guys, do hit the like button, subscribe our channel and do press the bell icon to receive latest jobs notifications, GATE talks and video lectures on GATE and IES.